Celtic Football Club, a team once a charity team, has now become the most successful club in all of Scotland, even having a European trophy. However, these days they have been losing to Rangers, and they've also been quite poor. So my dad has made this past and present team, and so for his birthday, I am rebuilding Celtic using the past and present team he has gave me as a formula as how to rebuild the team. How will I do this? So basically, every player that he has given me, I will take their position and their nationality and find a player which matches. So for Agafe, for example, we can use someone like Michael Elise, or that's what I would say, except we can only sign players rated 79 or lower. So we're going to have to get creative here. But we put it into a 4-4-2 formation as my dad did, and there's going to be a lot of work done to this team. But as for the tactics, they are here on screen. Pretty modern 4-4-2, kind of based a bit on Sir Alex's, but that doesn't matter. What matters is the amount of players on the transfer list, which is a lot. And in the youth academy, there was only 2 people who actually even fit the requirements, which is not good whatsoever for their team. Now, we have sent out 3 scouts, one to Ireland for a goalkeeper, one to Scotland for a centre-back, centre-mid and striker, and one to Sweden to find the next Lawson. And now on the transfer hub, we have got a short list here of Jared Banflave, Desire Dewey, and there's a Matrix Merrill guy. And all these players fit the requirements, so we are signing all 3 of them. So let's see kind of how we do going and signing all 3 of these players to the team. Hopefully it goes well. But first we got to raise funds. And with that, I'm selling who is probably Celtic's best player at the moment, Daisen Maeda. He is leaving for Fenerbahce for 12.5 million. But last time I checked, the last time a player played in Glasgow during Fenerbahce, that didn't go well. And so Rangers thought it'd be funny to bring in an offer for James Forrest, a Celtic legend himself. Not funny. And so here is the first signing in Jared Banflave. He comes in to the Celtic building as a proper player, a big upgrade in the defence, no matter how you see it. 24 million we paid from Everton for this transfer. The price rating we got wasn't A. I believe 24 million was lower than his market value, and he comes in at a 79 overall, the maximum overall that we can actually sign. So this is very good for us at the moment. And as you can see, I have made this as accurate as I can so far to past and present already, but I can only do so much. And so the next player, Barrow, comes in to the club to play in that central midfield role in the team, and this will be very good for us. 2 million, quite a cheap transfer, but one rule is that if a backup player ends up being better than the player in the first team, we can just swap it because it's still the same team. It's just a slightly different lineup, but it still works quite well. And the third and final signing I plan on bringing in is Desire Dewey. He has been balling out at PSG, even scoring the winning penalty in the Champions League against Liverpool. Yes! But anyway, that's not important. What's important is that he's coming into the club at a 78 overall. We'll be bringing him for that right hand side, so we'll be converting him to a right midfielder. But I have very high hopes for the 18-year-old, and hopefully he can do it very well for us. Moving on now to the squad. That's how the team currently looks. And if we go to the academy, that's our academy so far. So Angus Hanna is getting promoted. And here comes in another signing in season 1. We needed a right back, so we're bringing in Aaron Hickey from Brentford into the team to slot in there. Could have went with Ralston, but saw him in real life and did not like it. 7.6 million, money well spent if you ask me. Young player, got lots of room to grow, B price rating, and he's already 75 rated. I think this will be a great signing, and it means that Montgomery is still a bench player, but he's not exactly good enough for Celtic level starting 11 yet based on his rating. I don't know in real life. I don't know if he gets a chance. But what matters is that we're bringing in another player. I'm gonna get sick of bringing in players. Honestly, this is like a real life Celtic transfer window because it's saying like 50 million players and he's still 50 million players. Honestly. Now, I believe this is Jack Hendry, isn't it? Yep, it's Jack Hendry from fact, we're saving him from Saudi for 3.9 million, and price rating is a B, and he squats and he's not 75 rated, he's 74 rated, but that'll do because simply it is the Scottish League, and the standard is very low. We should be winning the league every season. I say that, and we have to bring in another player for the left back position. Nope. Right. That'll be done later. Lewis Morgan, striker, because we need our Dalglish. And in this rebuild, he is going to end up being our Dalglish. Yes, he's a bit older, but he'll make the job work well. And we will probably win the Champions League with him. 73 rated. And he's got the playstyles. Now we're bringing in the left back as we bring in Kieran Tierney. He returns to his boyhood club. He reunites with Callum McGregor and all the other members, including Brendan Rodgers. This is where he started his career, and hopefully he can have a good ending to his career here, since Arsenal did not go well for him, and neither did Real Sociedad. But here he is considered to be a Celtic legend in the eyes of many fans, especially current ones or newer ones. So he comes back into the club, and hopefully he can be very good for us in this rebuild. I imagine he's starting, and who knows, maybe get a high overall. 9.5 million from Arsenal. It's quite a big bargain for him. A price rating, even they agree, and 78. So he'll come in and he'll replace Greg Taylor. We are midway through the season, yes. This is the January transfer window. But let's see how it is coming to the end of the season. Celtic, top of the league, 92 points to Rangers' feeble 72. 20 point gap. We won the league eons ago, and we also won the Scottish Cup against Rangers. We probably were taking it easy on them because it was only 1-0. Could have been 5-0 based on the gap. But look at that. Lewis Morgan, our Dalglish, top scorer. Callum McGregor, some performance that is from our captain. Engels was playing. We don't really care. Adam Reeder, we don't really care. Do we? We do care. We're going to try and get him permanently because he was only a loan. And I think it just makes sense for us to settle the buy option now and sort that out. And in Season 2, we immediately start by bringing in Gavin Bazunu as our packet baller. He signs for the club, meets Brendan right there, and hopefully he'll grow quite high overall because he is a wonder kid in this game, to be fair. So hopefully that works. 7.6 million, it's absolute bargain. Was wanted to bring in him last season, but he was already out on loan, unfortunately. But Schmeichel, yes, you're at the club, but you're ancient and you're past it clearly, as we saw in the old firm. So Bazunu, you're there. Also, by the way, fair play to Rangers, but Rangers aren't winning a single one of the old firms now. We are going to annihilate them. I will annihilate the Champions League soon as well. Getting into the next signing, we are bringing in a Polish goalkeeper who is the regen of Szczesny, maybe. I don't know. I don't really care. And yeah, they're just gonna be our backup goalkeeper. I think that's quite fair. I mean, we do need two goalkeepers, obviously, in this. So hopefully it goes well. Now, if you did check the thing, my dad did only put 4 players, but that's because back in the day you could only have 3 substitutes in a game of football. Yeah. So There's stuff for you right there. And here's a Celtic fact for you right now. Celtic actually started out as a charity team. Yep, you can check that. But first, finish this video because we are bringing in another player into the team. Big Scott McTominay. When I thought box to box central midfielder, he is the first player which came to my mind. I've seen him at United. I've not seen him at Napoli. I've been meaning to, but when I thought central midfielder, box to box, McTominay, first player came to mind. For me, he can do it all and he will destroy the Scottish League here. So he comes in from Napoli for 15.7 million. Quite good business. And I love this guy. Man United student sold him A price rating. And what is his overall? Let's see, 79. 79 overall. That is very, very good for us. And hopefully he can grow to maybe like an 84. If I'm being generous. Now, our academy is quite big now. As you can see, there's a lot of new talents. Yeah, a lot. We've got quite a few. And some of them are getting promoted. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, so it took forever to get good academy talents. It's so annoying. I think they've actually nerfed the academy in career mode now. But that's not stopping the senior team as we still go and win the league this time by 10 times less of a gap. Only 2 points. And we don't even win the Scottish Cup. We get knocked out in the quarter-finals to Dundee United. Wow. That is embarrassing. That is embarrassing. Bart Simpson dancing. Yep, 27 goals from Adam Eder. We don't really care. Lewis Morgan did well. McTominay did well. And then Cam McGregor did well. Jack Hendry got 5 somehow. Dewey only with 3 and 7 is a bit concerning. But it's not too much to worry about, I suppose. And yeah, this is how the team looks. I think the team looks quite good, to be honest with you. I think in a few seasons, Champions League, we could maybe win it. But we need to bring in the right signings and we need to do well. And I think we're going quite well. And we are going into season 3 where we are finally signing Hugo Pinto, Ronaldo's regen. Why am I signing him? Because we need George Cadet. I think it's George. Is this George? Yeah, I think it's George Cadet. I think that's how my dad pronounced it. George Cadet. Now, I am very optimistic about the signing because I know he has insane potential, and I kind of need insane potential in this rebuild because we are going to need every single bit of potential we can get if we want this team to actually do well in Europe. So, Hugo Pinto does get into starting lineup. Plan is he'll play. He's only got one play style, but we are going to actually make our tactics a bit more relevant to the actual strikers at the club. So, advance forward plus plus. Obviously, that's how Dalglish and Lawson were. And so, this is our academy right now. It's okay. We've got a Riley McPherson to be our next Dalglish, possibly if Lewis Morgan fails. And we've got this guy for Lawson. And we've got a left back. But we signed Ben Leach, who will actually probably be our Dalglish if Lewis Morgan isn't. I've got more faith in him, which is quite sad. But we literally have the next Lawson and Anders Lawson. And I'm quite happy with that. It's a B price rating and he even has a chip shot. He has the chip shot playstyle. That's his only playstyle. It was written in the stars on pre-contract arrivals. And this is how the team's looking, by the way, in case you are interested, as it is like just after the transfer window. but we are sorting our team out, and it's looking relatively good, I would say. But on to the next clip we go. We found another Lawson. This one actually has chip shot. I am going to crash out. I'm actually going to crash out. Why? There's no need, just why? Why must I do this so often? And so we have sent out a few players on loan, but we're now sending out Ben Leach, and Mohammed and Lawson all out on loan. And so, as you can see on screen, we're somehow able to beat Barcelona in the Champions League. However, that form did not carry over into Scotland as we finally lose the league to Rangers by 7 points, which is an absolute embarrassment for us. We didn't make the final of the Scottish Cup either. So this season has been a complete fail. We lost to Rangers in the semi-finals. This season has not been good enough whatsoever. And if we check the Champions League, we got knocked out by Atalanta. Beat Barcelona, but can't beat Atalanta. I don't know how that works, but it seems to work somehow. Hugo Pinto scores many goals on his first season, and the entire team did quite well, I would say, this season. Dewey is quite high rated, and we are actually looking very good, especially in the academy of Angus Shanks now getting promoted, and we have a lot of other players who are worthy of getting promoted as well. So we have been doing quite well. In fact, Celtic has one of the best academies in the world at this point now, considering the amount of players that we are actually going and promoting to the senior team. I think that's going to go down in history for a quite big mass promotion. And so into season 4, we are bringing in another player. Which player is this, you may ask? Is it a Ben Doak? We just are able to sign him because of his rating, and hopefully he can play down that left hand side for us, which is where we've been lacking quite a lot, I would say. And so hopefully he can make us a very good team. 39.4 million we had to spend. His career kind of fell off. He went to Fulham. Now a lot of people see this as a downgrade, but he won't be saying that when he wins the Champions League. Angus Hanna, what a waste of time he was. Coots, no, you're not playing. No, you're not playing first team football in your dreams. Ben Doak comes into the team, and he'll be converted to a left midfielder. Now, Hugo Pinto actually has potential to be special, so he's got 91 plus potential. I absolutely love it, and I think he deserves it. We bring in Lennon Miller to be a squad player for us from Atletico Madrid, who, I'm gonna be honest, kinda harsh. Penalty shootout wise. Did Alvarez touch the ball with both feet? Yes. Was it intentional? No. It should have been a retake. But that's not the rules, but it should be the rule. So, yeah, not great. But for some reason, it's not letting me show the standings for this season. So, yeah, here you go. We weren't able to win either domestic trophy. And obviously, we didn't win the Champions League. So, starts Hugo Pinto, 42 goals. Very good. 60 goal contributions, actually, is that? No, 54, sorry. My maths is wrong. But we are doing quite well with this team. And we're relatively going quite well. Dewey got injured, though. Even our academy is actually starting to look quite good. Season 4, our academy graduates are actually growing a bit on their loan spells, which is very good for us to see as we add others to it. But yeah, we're getting there with the team. Soon, Champions League football, maybe. But first, we've got to bring in more signings. So who is this signing, you may ask? This signing is a centre back. And the centre back is not actually a centre back, though. It's James Wilson. Yep, you thought it was a centre back. And I said, no, it's actually James Wilson. He comes in as a backup because our other strikers are all out on loan, try to get game time. So it just makes sense to go and then have to eventually sabotage someone's career. And James Wilson is that unfortunate guy today. Yeah. Oh well. They were bringing in Virgil van Dijk because he is ancient, old, and very low in overall. So we are actually able to go and do this, which makes me a very happy person in season 5. 18.5 million. I think we've done a good job here. I think we've done a very good and successful job, actually. And I think this team is doing brilliantly. And we can go and challenge for Champions League with Wilson as we go and win the league. Justice restored as we also win the Scottish Cup. The Champions League, Arsenal won it. But we were able to get to the quarter-finals where Athletic Bilbao knocked us out, just like how they will knock out Rangers. I'm saying it now. 80% chance it's happening, 10% chance it goes to penalties. But yeah, no, I don't actually think Rangers are getting a result. Rangers are not getting a result whatsoever, I'm being fully honest with you. But Hugo Wins was at a 90 overall. What a season he has had. 60 goal contributions as our entire team does very well. And soon we will be able to win the Champions League, if not only next season. Because I believe that this team has everything that it takes to go and win the competition next season. I don't see any reason why they can't. And there is no reason, as we have reached the final against Paris Saint-Germain, a team with no Champions League titles. That is embarrassing. That is embarrassing. As we are the only team, apart from PSG themselves, to go unbeaten in the league phase. And then in the round of 16, after skipping the playoffs, we beat Arsenal 5-3 on aggregate, which is a very good result. That's not the right button. I'm still getting used to this. We then beat Dortmund 5-4 on aggregate, getting the result we needed at the yellow wall. That's an improvement. As we beat Aston Villa 4-2. So that is 3 teams that Celtic would get battered by, which we have been able to beat through simulation. Now, in the league, we weren't able to win. 4 points off Rangers. But who really cares when we're about to go and play a Champions League final? If you ask the Celtic fan, would you rather the league title or a chance to win the Champions League? They're taking the chance to win the Champions League, especially if it's the final. Like, be honest, look at the stats. This team of players have 100% earned it. And I'm proud of them. I think they've done a very good job here. And I believe that we can actually go and win the Champions League. I don't believe that there's anything which is stopping us. And you look at the players here. And even if we don't, we can keep going. We have assembled a team. Whether it's a complete team, not necessarily, as some players are out on loan. But it might be the best we're going to get at this point in career mode. I'm very lucky to get this chance in Season 6. So, I think we're ready. We have a bit of luck, but we are ready. And this is the PSG team. Da Costa, Doku, Rodrigo, Edison, Odegaard, Rodri, Bueno, Poro, Kanate, Diaz, Donnarumma. Oblak as a backup. That's insane. Like, didn't PSG learn that you can't have two world class goalkeepers? It just doesn't work. But oh well, we've got to go and play this game. So let's get straight into it. And off the mark immediately, I'm only showing the goals. Pinto! What a goal! Brilliant cutback. And just instantly, goal! You love to see that. Here is Morgan, squares it. Pinto! It's over. And here we are, about to go and lift the Champions League. I'd like to thank you all for watching for this birthday special from my dad. And I'm very happy with this. That's the first time I've done a rebuild this year on FC25. I think it's been quite a good one. Well, I say it's the first time I'm doing the Man United rebuild series, but I'm probably going to stop that because of the views. But who cares, as we lift the Champions League into the sky, Callum McGregor gets the ending he deserves.